Hey everyone, I'm Audius Wolf, and welcome back to Final Fantasy XIV. We are finally getting through patch 4.5 and 4.56, finally starting to actually get into Shadowbringers, which we will be starting tomorrow. So tomorrow, Kaharu will no longer be a dancer because, as anyone who's been watching me stream this knows, for each expansion I switched to a different class. For Realm Reborn, she was a healer. She was a white mage. For Heavensward, she was a red mage. And for Stormblood, as you can see, she's a dancer. But for Shadowbringers, tomorrow she's going to be going through that as the poster job for Shadowbringers, which is Dark Knight. But for now, why don't we finish up post Stormblood with patch 4.5? Elise, what's up?
I'm glad you've come, though I'm afraid there's little in the way of good news.
Aww.
After you left, we reached out to both the Alchemists Guild and Stillglade Fane and attempted all manner of treatments. But the results were always the same. Whatever the answer is, it's not alchemy or conjuring. Why did it have to be Y'shtola and Urianger and not me? Out of all of us, they are the ones who could feasibly have solved this puzzle. And Alphino's still missing. God, it's all going wrong. Where do we even start?
A grave situation indeed. Might I be of some assistance?
Cryo! Cryo!
Kryl! I thought you busy delving into the mysteries of Eureka.
When word reached me of the plight of our friends, I could not well stay away. As a fellow scion, not to mention your erstwhile mentor, this is one of those times you should feel free to call on me, regardless of my personal circumstances.
Yes, I should have thought of that. Thank you for coming, Kryl. We would welcome your insight.
And I should be happy to provide it. Now, what's this I hear about Alphino heading into Imperial territory? That boy always did have some funny ideas. Do you remember the speech he gave when he was accepted to the Studium?
My life's goal is naught less than the salvation of this star.
That particular grand pronouncement has been a source of great embarrassment to him, as you know. But the fact of the matter is, he meant every word and has lived his life accordingly.
Yes, he remains altruistic to a fault, but I'm worried he was too fixated on his goals to see the dangers, as has happened before.
You needn't be so concerned. Though his values remain the same, Alphino is not the blinkered boy he once was. Slowly but surely his eyes have been opened, thanks to a certain someone.
Kaharu looks so concerned.
A certain someone whom he'd be mortified to learn had heard about his little speech. Mum's the word, eh? Right, I'd better have a look at our patients. They're in the infirmary, I assume. I'll need absolute quiet, so it would be best if I did this alone. If you'll excuse me.
Okay, bye. Now what? We just waiting? Yep.
All three are in fine physical health. At a glance, I would say they were merely sound asleep. Except for the fact that I couldn't sense the slightest trace of them in their bodies. It's as if their souls have taken leave of their physical forms.
Ah, yes. The Elder Seedseer made a similar observation.
Yes, she did.
I've read the report. When you heard this mysterious voice, you described feeling as if you were somewhere else, yes?
Ah, there we go.
If we assume the ether which comprises your essence is being drawn to some other place,
Miss me.
then it may be possible to follow the trail it leaves behind, just as we did in our search for Thancred.
Indeed.
I wasn't around for that, but I can't imagine it was easy.
Yeah, we had to go find Matoya.
Oh, it wasn't. But that's no reason not to try. I will have need of Master Matoya's crystal eye if I'm even to make the attempt. So I suggest we pay her a visit.
Yes, yes. Oh, we're going back to Dravania. Again. Okay. Edelshire. Edelshire. There we go. Away we go. Okay. Ah, my buggy mount. This thing makes the weirdest noises. I love it. I love it. Okay, she was over here somewhere. Hey Alexander, how you doing? How you doing? Oh. Took bite of my Pop-Tart and I bit my tongue. Good job, me. Good job, me. Okay, where is she? Where is the entrance to your cave, Matoya? Ah, here it is. Oh, Alize! I'd heard Master Matoya was something of a recluse, but this seems extreme. Still, I'll happily overlook her eccentricities if she agrees to help us. Hi, we're back. Again.
Come to disturb my peace again, have you?
Yes.
I hide myself away in a cave, and still you people insist on pestering me with your problems. Oh, I mistook you for young what's-his-name, but I see now you're the sister. Weren't you supposed to be the lively one? I've seen happier faces at a rain-sodden burial.
Well, I'm sorry to dash your expectations, but the situation isn't exactly conducive to gaiety.
Ha! That's more like it. Stoller used to spit and hiss like a wildcat too. Better for a young thing like you to be filled with fire and leave the doom and gloom to your elders. Now, what exactly does this tragic situation of yours have to do with me?
If I may, Master Matoya, we have need of your crystal eye once more.
Yes, indeed. We need to find our friends, Matoya. Again.
And Stoller is one of the afflicted, is she? Very well. She may be an ungrateful stray, but she's my ungrateful stray, and I'll not see her buried before I am.
Do the thing, Cryle. Do the thing.
Right. Let us see what we can see. I'll begin from where our friends first fell, and cast my senses out from there.
What is it? Did you find them?
This doesn't make sense. How is it even possible?
How is what possible? Cryle, what did you see?
The threads, they just ended. And no, I didn't lose track of them. I followed them as far as they went. It's as if they were cut off.
Could their ether have dissipated if it had? Oh gods! Their bodies are just husks. It's like the broodmother's daughter all over again.
No, this is different. The Kalyana girl was already dead, body and soul, when Lakshmi effected her resurrection.
Aye, let's not jump to conclusions. If their physical forms yet breathe and show no signs of wasting, then it follows that their souls must still be intact somewhere.
Okay, but where, Matoya?
But where?
Thank you, Alize.
That's the question, isn't it, girl? Death has not taken them to the ethereal sea, yet there are no tracks left for us to follow.
We're no closer to an answer than when we started. But knowing their souls are still out there is progress of a sort. We just have to keep looking. Pray, excuse me a moment. Yes? I remember, but... What, to Alamigo? We're on our way. That was Lee's. Apparently, a group of Populares have defected to Alamigo, and Maxima, the envoy Alphino left with, is one of them.
Maxima!
I'm sorry. I realize we've barely begun here, but...
Go, child, go! You've made up your mind, and life's too short for dithering.
I'll do some digging in the meantime and see if there isn't some other method we could use to continue the search.
Let's be off then.
Yep.
Oh, not again. The enchantment barely seems to take these days. I chalk it up to old age, but I rather doubt it's that simple.
Your broom fell. Oop, there it goes.
Before they took ill, Y'shtola and Urianger were sharing notes on a thinning of the ether. It seems to be happening all over.
Does it now? And here I was all set to blame my woes on that creaking mountain of refuse clogging up the Thaliac. I fear something has gone awry. Still, there's naught to be gained from starting in shadows. You can only do what can be done, and that but one thing at a time.
Indeed. So, that was the woman who tamed Y'shtola. I had the distinct feeling of being grabbed by the scruff of the neck and having the nonsense shaken out of me. When Alphino is back, I like to visit again and ask her what tale she has of grandfather. I almost can't bear to hear what Maxima has to tell us. But it can't be bad news, can it? Lise would have said, unless... there's no point speculating. Lise said she'd notify the guards of our coming, so we should head straight to the palace gate in the Alamegan quarter. I'll be praying for good news. Learn what you can of Alphinaud's plight, and leave the search for our friend's lost souls to me. Alright, to the Alamegan quarter. Boop, boop, boop. Away! Okay, yep, down here we go. Whee! Greetings, Silence. The commander told me to expect you. Shall I show you in? Yes, please. Yes, please. Maxima!
I'm sorry to drag you halfway across the realm, but when Maxima mentioned Alphinaud, I thought you'd want to hear the news in person.
Ah, we meet again. Though I was hoping our reunion would be under more auspicious circumstances.
What happened to my brother? Where is Alphinaud?
Calm down, Lise. Calm down, Alize. We just got here. Good lord.
Never fear, my lady. Your brother was in fine health when I took my leave of him, and I have no reason to assume that has changed.
You assume?
If you will allow me, I shall endeavor to explain events.
Please do. Alize mad. Please explain.
Our troubles began not long after we departed Doma. While crossing the burn, we were fired upon by the Emperor's personal guard and forced to make an emergency landing. As we stumbled from the wreckage, our attackers fell upon us again, and we would have perished there and then were it not for the intercession of a third party, a band of mercenaries whose leader claimed to pursue a vendetta against the Ascians.
Yep.
This shadow hunter, as he styled himself, then escorted us out of the wastes to relative safety. Upon arriving back in civilization, I gathered my Populares colleagues and prepared to flee the Empire. Master Alphinaud, however, declined the invitation to join us, preferring to continue his investigation into the Ascian threat.
Well, at least he's not lying in a heap in the burn. Tell us more about these Ascian hunters. Who are they? And is Alphinaud still with them?
He is. As to who they are, I'm afraid I have nothing to tell you. Beyond the fact that they root out and destroy Ascians, they were unwilling to divulge anything which might serve to identify them. They would not even reveal their next destination. But Master Alphinaud asked to accompany them all the same. Since parting company with your brother, we've been engaged in a game of cat and mouse with the Emperor's guard. We made our way through province after province, finding the army busy restoring order wherever we went, until we finally arrived here in Alamigo. I cannot thank Commander Aldin enough for giving us such an unexpectedly warm welcome.
I'm not inclined to turn away refugees, no matter which land they call home. And if they can tell me how things lie in Garlemald, all the better.
Bad boy, Ralbon.
On that subject, there is much I would tell you. During the course of our journey, we heard tales that an entire rebel army had been slaughtered in the space of a single night.
Oof. Oh goodness, oh dear.
It would seem my former comrades grew tired of putting down uprisings in the conventional manner, and chose instead to bring a formidable new weapon to bear. Details were sparse, but the rumor alone was enough to dampen the flames of rebellion. I have also heard reports that several companies have withdrawn from their designated provinces and begun marching westward. It is my assessment that the Empire's forces are mobilizing for a large-scale military engagement.
Westward? You mean they're getting ready to invade Alamigo?
We knew this was coming, but not that it would be so soon.
Yep. Yeah, we did know this was coming.
We've barely even begun to shore up our defenses. They won't stop an invading army.
No, they won't. Dispatch messengers to the Alliance leadership requesting reinforcements, and send word to our officers in the field to hasten completion of those border fortifications. Prepare to meet the Imperials head on! No matter how quickly we act, we still want for time. When the enemy comes into view, our best recourse will be to open negotiations with their commander, and see that the ensuing proceedings take as long as possible.
Would you and Alize head to Doma and let Lord Hien know about this? I'm sure he'll want to hear about Alphino too.
Yeah, we should.
Consider it done. We'll send word when...
Oh god. Ah, not this again.
Untold sorrow must be changed. Ahead looms a calamity. Eon become instant. Throw wide the gates.
But what does that mean?
You heard it too.
Yes, I did.
Well, at least we're both still standing.
Oh, thank the gods. I thought we'd lost you for a moment there. Why does this keep happening?
I wish I knew. Nothing we've tried has brought us any closer to an answer. We'll keep working on it. But first, we need to go and see Lord Hien.
Yeah, we should go see how Doma's getting on. So Alphino is safe, for the present at least. Now we need to worry about is a full-scale Imperial invasion. Yeah, no pressure. No pressure at all. I'm actually glad Lee's tasked us with visiting Lord Hien. Better to be dashing from place to place than sitting around stewing over what we can't change. To the Enclave. And I have been doing my weekly Enclave stuff, so it's been building. It's not completely rebuilt yet, but you know, I'm still. It's in the first stages. I believe I'm on the second part of rebuilding it currently. So you can see I have the 10,000 stalls over here, all nice and complete, looking very pretty. I don't have that complete. I don't have that tower over there complete, or over there, or the school over there. Currently I'm building up the yard, which as you can see has been making some progress. It actually looks more built than the last time we ran through. Anyway, Hien. Where is he? Here he is. In here. Of course, he would be in here. Why wouldn't he be? Yes, please. Oh, Serena! After their humbling at your hands, Magnay and his Ordinary have spent every waking moment upon the training fields. The feat does not sit well with the son and his children. Why am I not surprised? Why am I not surprised? Freaking Magnai. Greetings, my friends. I was just discussing future endeavors with the members of our newly formed alliance. The Kojin and the Confederacy you already know, and it was our strength of arms that won us the cooperation of the steppe tribes. We also have been joined by our neighbors of Nangsha and the indomitable citizens of Dalmasca, though the scattered nature of the latter's resistance will somewhat delay their official induction. These proud peoples have united under a single purpose, to stand against the tyranny of the Garlean Empire. I am glad to see your alliances coming together so swiftly. As things stand, I fear we shall soon have need of your strength. Yep, the Empire's coming for Alamigo again. I thank you for bringing me news of Alphino. His fate was never far from my thoughts, and not only because he is our emissary. As for the sudden deployment of Imperial forces, I agree that Alamigo would be wise to shore up its borders with all haste. Every report we receive from our shinobi indicates a massing of troops in the western provinces. It seems all but certain that the Empire is poised to bring its fist down upon Eorzea. And I would help deflect that blow, but I cannot risk sending reinforcements just yet. We will remain vulnerable to airborne assault until our wall in the burn is in place. The all-important Alagon energy barrier. The energy barrier, yes. I thought to call it something more auspicious. A name drawn from the four lords of legend, perhaps. Cerus Aegis, or some such. Well, it's just a thought. The Ironworks engineers report that they have finished calibrating the generators and are ready to proceed to the testing stage. Have you time to attend the first test? You've seen the field which protected Az's law firsthand, and I'd be interested to hear how you think ours compares. Well, we got nothing better to do. Let's go. I will come too if you don't mind. Though I am no Y'shtola, I may be able to offer some insight. Of course. Time being of the essence, it would be best to be made directly for the burn. Yugiri, I will leave you and Haruko to bring the War Council to a close. Understood. Your mounts are saddled and ready, my lord. Wear the storms. Oop, I'll take that, thank you. We will cross the burn by Yol and Falcon as before. Join me at the overlook near the House of the Fierce. Okay, House of the Fierce. Where are you? There you are. Away we go. Whee! Oh, I didn't have to travel very far. Okay. Give the word when you're ready to take wing. Let's go. Let's go, let's go, let's go. Yeah. We arrive.
It seems the engineers have matters well in hand.
Yep. Of course they do. They're from the Ironworks.
Should the barrier work as we intend, Doma will be free to reinforce her allies in Alamigo without fear of weakening her own borders.
Woo!
Honored friends, the time has come to put your hard work to the test. Start the generator.
Ooh. Whoa.
Node 1 is operational. Nodes 2 to 8 are reporting similar energy levels. The barrier is forming.
Yay! Let's get it, go.
1,000 yards. 2,000. 3,000. Expansion remains smooth. No fluctuations detected.
Look at that. Wow.
4,000. 5,000. Target altitude reached. The barrier is holding steady at 5,000 yards. We've done it.
Woo!
Is that an Imperial airship? Of all the rotten timing.
But this is a gift, Mistress Alize. They can test our new wool for us. Seems solid enough, though I was hoping for a fireball.
Alphino!
By the gods, it's Alphino. What are you? Let me go! He has my brother!
Lower the barrier!
Be at ease, girl. The lad is not dead, merely locked in slumber.
Oh, it's been a while since I heard this voice. Wow.
No, not him too.
We could identify no cause and found no remedy. Thus I sought to return him to Doma, and into the arms of Lord Hien himself, it would seem. It is a day for fated reunions. Would you not agree, adventurer? Or should I address you as the Warrior of Light?
Guys, Van Belsar.
Aye. Gaius van Baelsar, the Black Wolf. That was the title I was given. One I have long since relinquished. Stand down. The legatus of the 14th Imperial Legion died in Castrum Meridianum. I am no more than Gaius Baelsar, a man without rank or allegiance.
Impossible. There's no way you could have survived.
Do you remember how it unfolded?
Vaguely, considering how many times I've run Praetorium for tombstones. Too many times. Way too many times.
How I was deceived by La Hebrea?
Yep.
How I was convinced that reviving the Ultima weapon would allow me to bring peace to Eorzea?
Yep.
The Ascian used me, as he used so many others, all to further the restoration of his wretched god. Yet even with the might of Alec at my command, you bested me. And as the Praetorium went up in flames, I was content to burn along with it. For a moment, at least. a moment of folly. To surrender my life thus would have been to betray all who died for my cause. It was for them that I dragged myself free of the rubble, and swore vengeance on the Ascians. The Black Wolf has shed his pelt, never to return to Garlemald or her legions. I live now only to exact revenge. My principal quarry was to be La Hebrea, whom I gather you have since ushered onto oblivion.
Not me, technically. I did that to ignore him, or whatever the hell her name was. That was Thornton's doing in my stead. So, but yes, he's still dead either way.
But so many more remain. Long as their kind lurked in the shadows, laboring to sow chaos throughout our world, I would see each and every one dragged into the light and put to the sword. Are the Scions not of like mind?
In this single respect, perhaps.
Then I shall continue the partnership the boy began, and share what intelligence I have acquired. Among the Ascians, the Black-masked ilk are subordinate to those who wear red. This you already know.
Yep, this we've known for a while, correct?
Yet among the red there exists a hierarchy. Those set adrift with the shards clearly stand below those still joined to the source. Nabriales, who once dared to intrude upon the Rising Stones, belonged to the former group, and while he was indeed a dangerous foe, his powers were inconsequential next to the paragons of the Source. The first was La Hebrea, who plagues us no more.
Yep.
There is also the white-robed Elidibus, and the elusive Emmet Selk, about whom little is known.
We have files on La Hebrea and Elidibus, but I believe this Emmet Selk is new to us?
That would be correct, Alize.
As I assume my brother told you, we have evidence to suggest that an Ascian now walks in the body of the Crown Prince. Have you identified this interloper?
Elidibus seems the most likely culprit. As emissary, it is his role to maintain the equilibrium between darkness and light. Your many deeds in Hydaelyn's name have upset the balance.
Good.
And I believe he seeks to restore it by throwing his considerable power behind the Empire. As a leader of the Ascians, he is one of our primary targets. It was on the trail of this very prey that the boy and I came across the scene of a failed uprising. In the absence of a single Garlean casualty, we inspected the bodies of the rebels, and the lack of any external injury drew my immediate attention. They had been slain by Black Rose, an alchemical invention of the Imperial Army. When I yet served as legatus, I ordered its production halted, and all stockpiles destroyed. Toxic gas is not a tool of conquest, but of extermination.
Toxic gas? This must be the new weapon Maxima warned us about. Something deadly enough to sweep away all resistance in a matter of hours.
Indeed.
Gods. You don't think they're planning to use this in Alamigo, do you?
I would honestly not be surprised at this point, Alize.
Put your fears to rest. We infiltrated the production facility and destroyed all existing stores of the chemical along with the plant itself. Even should they rebuild the operation, they will not soon manufacture another batch.
Unless there's more of them.
Regardless, I would draw your attention to a directive we discovered in the plant's records. The document was marked with a recent date and authorized with the signature of one Zeno C.A. Galvus.
Oh dear.
A dead man signing the death warrant for thousands. 'Tis bad comedy.
Indeed.
But the tale does not end there. Within that same facility was a chamber filled with devices of elegant design. Cloning technology, we realized.
Oh, joy.
And what should we find in each and every incubator? But a young Emperor Solus.
That's not creepy at all.
All of which prompts the question, were the Ascians responsible for these abominations, or was it the will of the Emperor? I must know which hand guides the Empire. Though I have given up my rank, I am yet a son of Garlemald, and I will fight for the future of my homeland. It is time I return to the hunting of shadows. We should focus on our common foe. To reopen old quarrels now would serve no purpose.
You saved my brother's life, so I'm willing to let sleeping dogs lie. But in truth, it's not my decision to make.
You're right, there are more important matters at hand.
There was a time when I scorned those who placed their faith in false gods, even as I, in my blinkered conviction, place mine in Ascian promises. Unlike yours, my strength of will and my restraint was found wanting. We shall meet again, warrior of light.
So that was the infamous Black Wolf.
Yep.
An unexpected ally, to say the least.
No kidding.
Well, I am content to leave the fine-tuning of the barrier to cleverer minds. Let us bid our friends from the Ironworks farewell, and see what can be done for Alphino back in Dorma.
Bye, Gaius. See you later. Probably, at some point. I remember everybody freaking out when that cutscene happened. It was great. Alphino is safely ensconced in a private chamber. My finest healer is examining him as we speak. I've spoken with the physician, and there's no outward sign of illness. Alphino is lost in a sleep from which he cannot be woken, just like the others. It seems that even the lands of the Empire are not far enough away to escape that cursed voice. I share your frustration, Alize, I do, but Alphino is returned to us alive and otherwise unharmed. All that remains is to find the means to wake him. Until then, you can but fulfill your duties as a Scion. Yours and your brother's both. You're right, of course. There are arrangements to be made, and little time to make them. To business then, my lord. Now that we know Sayru's wall works as intended, can we expect reinforcements for Alamigo? You most certainly can. As promised, we will send troops to bolster our allies in Eorzea without delay. Heck yes. Pray be aware, however, that they will not arrive without delay. Save for some few who boast teleportation magics, the bulk of our force must be transported by sea, a lengthy voyage for which the smaller vessels favored by the Confederacy are ill-equipped. Accordingly, I mean to enlist the assistance of the East Aldenar Trading Company in finding suitable ships. As for navigating the distances in question, we are in the happy position of being able to call upon those who plotted the course of my people's exodus to Eorzea. Beyond the procurement of ships, I think it unlikely that our East Alvenar friends will consent to any involvement in military operations. But I am certain they can afford Alphino a berth aboard one of their vessels. I shall have a Kyurgeon accompany him every elm of the way to the Rising Stones. You have my thanks, Lord Ian. Yugiri, I will go on ahead with our friends to Alamigo, enlist all those capable of teleportation, and put them at the disposal of the Eorzean Alliance as soon as possible. They will form the vanguard. Yes, my lord. This is exactly what we'd hoped for. Lys and the Alliance leaders will be glad indeed to welcome the combined strength of the East. Indeed they will be. Ooh, cutscene. Meanwhile, at the Black Rose chemical plant,
our supplies at Black Rose have been ruined, but the new plant is already under construction. We should have the first batch ready in time for the offensive, Your Radiance.
See that you do.
Ah, yes, the infamous Black Rose. If I recall correctly, Gaius did not much care for the invention. A ruthless and indiscriminate weapon indeed, this airborne poison. It seems you are capable of making decisions worthy of your bloodline.
With no gift for sorcery, we Garleans must look to Magitech to even the odds. If it spares the needless deaths of our soldiers and serves the cause of this empire, there is no method I would not employ.
How very noble of you.
Truly, though, I must commend you for embracing your role as Emperor. You play the part of the determined ruler well. Sometimes even I catch myself believing.
Rude.
A silent agent of death. Now that I think on it, Black Rose may well possess the perfect aspect. Slowly but surely, the deluge of light has worked upon the ether here in the source, and the gas should be most susceptible to its influence. Well, I shall leave you to your own devices. Go forth and bloody the land with your grand and glorious war.
While you do what, precisely?
Good question.
Need you ask? I will be doing what all Ascians do.
I am well aware that your kind exists only to usher in the next calamity. But you seem oblivious to the harm your singular agenda causes to the Empire. You cannot have forgotten the events which followed your mortal demise. Our homeland was plunged into civil war for your failure to name a successor. The edifice you so carefully constructed was but a hair's breadth from collapse.
Are you truly so naive?
Dude, you're dealing with the Ascians. This was probably planned.
You thought me oblivious to the consequences of a departure so painstakingly timed?
It was by design?
Duh. Ascians? Harbingers
Well,
of
of
chaos?
course it was. Though I will admit the resulting panic exceeded even my wildest expectations. But how can you be surprised? Throwing the world into disarray was the very purpose for which this nation was, as you say, so carefully constructed.
Harbingers of chaos, dude.
Now, if you have no further questions, I must be on my way. Since we may not meet again in this lifetime, it would be remiss of me not to offer a word or two of gratitude.
Dork.
I really must thank you for this surplus of vessels. I can mold any host into my own image, but having bodies tailor-made for me in this fashion is so much less tiresome. You dabbled in elegant cloning techniques, yes? It certainly is a compelling, not to mention entertaining, field of research. And of all the options available, you chose the founding father on whom to experiment. You have a twisted streak to you, Varus, like grandsire, like grandson, hey? If events play out as planned, this will become something of a family enterprise. You will be the capstone of this world, I the anchor and shard, and together we will give the lie to this star's fraudulent existence.
Okay, dude. Have fun with that, I guess. We must leave now to convene with the Eorzea's leaders, and it may be some time before I return to Doma. Haruko, I leave you in command. My lord. I shall assemble an advance party with all haste and join you in Alamigo forthwith. I've just received word from Lise. The Alliance has established a base camp near Alamigo's northeastern border. Once we've arrived in the locks, we're to report to a resistance officer stationed in Porta Pretoria who will point us in the right direction. Let's not keep them waiting. Okay. Yes. No, lip balm, come back! No, you're not supposed to fall off. Down here. Boop. There we go. Ah, you must be the Scion party I was told to look out for. If you'll follow me, I'll take you directly to the Alliance headquarters. Let's go. And off we prepare for war!
Welcome back, you two. Greetings, Lord Hien. Glad you could join us.
Glad to be here. I would have come sooner, were our own defense is not in question, but I am pleased to report that our soldiers are assembling for deployment to Alamigo as we speak.
Heck yes.
We're grateful for your support. Thanks to the efforts of our allies, it won't be long before we've established defensive positions on this front as well.
Woo!
We have some good news too. Alphino has come back to us. As for the bad news,
So, Alphino won't wake up, Gaius Van Baelsar is alive and hunting Ascians, and the Empire is planning to poison us all with toxic gas. Does that sound about right?
That is indeed correct. That is what we've established in the past hour.
Ordinarily, any one of those things would have left me in shock. But the way things have been lately, it's all starting to seem pretty normal. Getting back to your report, are we sure this Black Rose is the weapon Maxima was talking about?
It fits the description. And it seems we have Alphino to thank for sparing us an early demonstration of its effectiveness.
Woo!
I have a feeling this won't be the last time his bravery in the Empire will serve us here in Eorzea. The threat of an unknown weapon has had us all on edge. But now that we know what we're dealing with, we can take steps to defend against it.
Mm-hmm.
As for Gaius, I'm not sure what to think. Am I happy he's alive? Not in the slightest. Am I happy he's hunting Ascians? Aye, I'd have to say I am.
Oh, speaking of Garleans you didn't expect to see, we have a tale of our own, as it happens. When we sent envoys to the Imperial Army to request talks, they returned with the message that Varissos Galvus would be attending.
Oh, okay. That's gonna be interesting.
The Emperor himself. Well, Varus did sanction the Popularis peace mission.
Mm-hmm.
But knowing that an Ascian walks in his son's skin, I do not see how we can trust him or anyone from that nest of vipers.
The Alliance would proceed with negotiations regardless, if only to give ourselves more time to prepare.
Fair.
We do, however, require your cooperation.
Right. Yes. So, as a condition for the talks to go forward, the Empire has requested that a member of the Scions be present. There'll be a representative from each Alliance nation, of course, but I'm afraid we have to ask that you come along too.
Gods, Lise. You know how much I hate politics. But then, what choice do I have? Alphino and the others aren't going to do it.
Not in their condition, no.
Very well. I shall attend as the Scion's representative.
Woo!
In case you're wondering why I didn't ask you, the Empire also requested the presence of Eorzea's champion.
Of course they did. I'll be there.
That's settled then. We don't know what Varus means to bring to the table, or why he wants you there, but having you close at hand will make all the difference.
I mean, I could, but I'm not going to.
The meeting will take place on the border. Anticipating an early assault, we mean to position the bulk of our forces nearby.
The Alliance leaders should already be on their way. Once you're ready, we can head out and join them.
Well, I don't suppose it's polite to keep an emperor waiting too long, shall we? Let's go parley with the emperor! Oh, goodness. Oh, goodness.
Esteemed representatives of the Eorzean Alliance. On behalf of the Garlean Empire, I thank you for inviting me here today. As this parley was convened at your request, I invite you to speak first.
Very well, Your Radiance. I, Nanimo Ulnamo, 17th in the line of Ul, should be pleased to oblige you. As recent events in Alamigo and Doma have made plain, the subjugation and exploitation of neighboring nations is not a sustainable policy. Should this day end in war, you may very well defeat us, but you will never extinguish the people's desire for freedom. Though it may not be in our lifetime, there will be another revolution, another war, and the cycle will continue. Doma has entered into a concord with the nations of Eorzea, a partnership wherein we recognize one another as equals. Garlemald could be afforded similar treatment. You need only set aside your ambitions and join us in paving a path towards peace.
You will not win me over with sophistry, Your Grace. As you know only too well, this alliance lacks the strength to keep the peace within its own borders. Even now, your struggles with the Beastmen continue unabated. Divided, you sow this fertile soil with the seeds of your differences and reap naught but discord and chaos for your trouble. Eorzea must be united under one leader, one purpose. I would offer you both and bring an end to your strife.
How about no, though?
With all due respect, Your Radiance, the only thing that you offered the people of Alamigo was fear and hopelessness.
The citizens of Doma can also attest to the meager arms of Imperial rule. There is no purpose to be found in a life of oppression, each day more uncertain than the last.
Our people are willing to die for their freedom. A great many already have, and countless more will, if we don't put an end to this madness here and now.
We brought order and stability to your lives. This madness and bloodshed is of your own making. You broke the peace, not Garlemald.
Excuse you, did you see the stupidity that Xenos was pulling in both Doma and Alamigo? That was not peace at all.
Peace. Order. You kill our peoples, despoil our lands, take everything that is ours. And what? You expect us to lick the boot that grinds our faces into the dirt?
I expect you to weigh the costs. To recognize that countless lives have been lost on both sides in pursuit of a greater good, and to not squander all we have achieved in a fit of petulance.
Why is he like this?
Your Radiance. I fear I can personally attest to the dangers of pursuing one's vision with such righteous fervor. For 1,000 years, the Holy See of Ishgard waged war with dragons. 1,000 years of sacrifice, of sorrow and hate, in which we bathed in the blood of friend and foe alike. Had it gone on any longer, we may well have drowned. Yet we have chosen to raise ourselves out of this bloody spiral, and have since made peace with our former enemy.
Indeed.
So I understand. No doubt the dragons were more receptive to your overtures in the wake of their leader's demise. You speak of peace, yet use war to achieve it. Your father would not have bothered to obscure his intent with honeyed words. He understood that strength is all that matters in the end. Without his clarity of vision, I can but wonder what will become of Ishgard and her people. There was a time when Garlemald too lacked a leader of conviction. Weak and unable to wield magic, we were at the mercy of the strong from whom we sought refuge in the bitter cold of the north. Were it not for the discovery of ceruleum and the subsequent development of Magitech, we might never have gained the power to take back that which was rightfully ours.
You speak as if your people were the first to have been driven from their homes. Limsa Lominsa was built by wayward souls in search of a place to call their own. On the shores of Vilbrand we found it, and from those humble beginnings did we grow and flourish. And all without robbing our neighbors of their liberty.
So saith the pirate. Am I to believe that you simply asked the kobolds to yield up their lands and that they were happy to oblige you? That you did not drive them out like rats in the hold of one of the many ships seized by your privateers? I will concede that after centuries of exile, reclamation may be mistaken for invasion. Nevertheless, it is not. And those who till stolen soil have no right to object when cast out in turn.
No, it's still her Heavensward voice. It is still the same voice actor she's had since Heavensward.
Your uncompromising nature rivals that of the Ixal. They too lament circumstances which they themselves perpetuate. Were they but to embrace peace, we would welcome them with open arms. Indeed, some few have done just that, and now receive of the Twelve's Wood's bounty. Would that your people might learn from their example.
You dare compare us to the Birdmen? You who thought to invoke the 12 and threaten all of creation?
I came here in the hope of finding some speck of common ground, but I see now these discussions will accomplish nothing. Despite what you people may believe, I am not wont to choose the sword over the olive branch. 'Tis but a pity men are loath to accept one without first being shown the other.
Wait! I beg you. This meeting was supposed to be a chance to find a way forward together, not to bemoan the missteps which brought us here. Please. If you truly consider violence a last resort, there must be a way we can come to an agreement.
Is there?
As Mistress Alisaie says, we did not come here to bicker over the past, but to discuss how we might strive towards a brighter future.
Indeed.
Emperor Varys, may I suggest a short recess, that all present might compose themselves prior to beginning anew?
Very well. I pray this intermission will suffice to move these talks in a more constructive direction.
This is really not my forte. After his Radiance's little performance, it was all I could do to not swear at him. Honestly, I don't know how I ended up playing the mediator. I just asked myself what Alphino would have done, tried my best to do the same, and by some miracle, it worked. But there really is no common ground to be found with that man, nor do I think he looked for any. So the question becomes, what did he come here to do? Because you may be certain that it wasn't to make peace. Whatever it is, I can't make it out. Not yet, at least. We do have a little time before the Palais is due to reconvene, though, so why not try consulting our illustrious leaders? Mayhap they have some insight to share. Merlweb, Kane, how you doing? I will say one thing for this Varys. He is well versed in Eorzean history. His interest in our affairs is that of a beast in its prey. The conqueror would know his enemies. All should know their enemies, yet there's much and more we do not know of the Empire. Then it's up to us to change that, here and now. You'd have me ask the Emperor himself? Well, mayhap there is some wisdom in that. If we can skirt the storm of his displeasure, we may yet come to our answers, even if it does mean sailing close to the wind. Nanamo, Lys, Ralbon, hello, how you three doing? 12 have mercy, but for Lady Alize's tiny interjection, we might have come to blows at the negotiation table. Not that Emperor Varys left us a great many options, it is unconditional surrender that he will accept, do you think? Ere he arrived, I'd have said yes, but having heard him speak, I cannot help but think he came with some other end in mind. Exactly! He's building up to something. I know it. How then should we approach the rest of this parley? Have you anything to say, Warrior of Light? Invite Varys to explain himself. You believe he is more apt to reveal the truth if we put him at his ease. Mayhap you are right. Thank you, Kaharu. Hien, Emmerich, hello! This parley was never to bring peace, but I had hoped to learn something of Emperor Varys' relationship with the Ascians. As had we all. Yet if he is in league with them, he is not like to volunteer the fact. And if he is not, how much weaker would his position seem for their presence? If we are to broach that particular subject, we will need to be subtle. Would that I knew more of the man, if you would indulge me. Lord Hien, if you would indulge me, Lord Hien, you received an imperial education, did you not? Is it true that the Emperor's will is considered absolute? There's no higher authority in all of Garlemald, nor else in the heavens come to that. Veneration of the gods is forbidden, the only worship permitted being that of His Radiance's own person. That sounds suspiciously like a religion in itself. I share your disdain for their hypocrisy, even as they denigrate the idea of faith. They revere their leader with a fervor others reserve for the divine. Tis a flaw common to much of the doctrine they fed to us. Logical on the surface, perhaps, but contradictory upon closer examination. I wonder if a discussion of the various discrepancies might prompt Varys to reveal something. You've spoken with everyone, then? Good. Now all that remains is to await the pleasure of the Emperor and hope we fare better at the second attempt. We can only hope. I doubt it, but we can only hope.
Now then, who would have the floor?
Before we resume, I wish to offer you an apology. After you graciously accepted our invitation to discuss an armistice, we have done naught but rebuke you at every opportunity. I believe I speak for all of us when I say we are deeply sorry for our discourtesy.
I'll admit your familiarity with our affairs surprised me, and served to remind me how little I know of yours.
I think all here can understand the desire to reclaim one's homeland. But why expand further? That is my question.
If I may, the answer can be found in the Imperial doctrine they took great pains to impart to my people. Recognizing the threat icons posed to the world, Solus Zos Galvus decreed that they were to be eradicated. To this end, he began a campaign to unite all lands under the Garlean banner. Or so we were taught. Yet the Emperor only reached the burn, the Baron said to have been laid waste by icons, after conquering all the lands that lay between. What is more, I am quite certain the practice of summoning was not nearly so widespread in the days before the Empire's founding.
Oh. Midnight, could you please get yourself settled so I can play my game in peace? Thank you.
When you put it like that, it all starts to sound like an excuse, doesn't it?
A little bit.
But to distract from what? Why are you really waging this war?
You're just being an annoying cat.
Finally, you ask the right question. I can but hope you heed mine answer and at last accept the righteousness of our cause. My goal is this: to return the world to the way it once was, the way it was always meant to be. In doing so, mankind will be made whole once more. No longer will we suffer from the dissension born of our differences. There will be but one race, a perfect race, as we were when time began.
What in Rulga's name are you talking about?
I am talking about the origins of the star, of the source and its 13 reflections. At the instant of the great sundering, 'twas not only the world that was shattered, but mankind itself. Thus were we divided into myriad races, each with its own unique imperfections. That is why man looks upon his neighbor and feels fear and hatred, why he wages war, why he kills his brother. You all in your own way have proven as much today. The peace you seek is but a fleeting solution to a fundamental problem. One which calls for more drastic measures. To bring about everlasting peace, our worlds must be rejoined.
Oh my god.
That is the goal the Empire would see realized. The glorious future unto which we shall one day shepherd mankind.
A rejoining of worlds.
I have heard this tale of the Source and its reflections before.
Are these not the self-same desires as the Ascians?
Very much so.
Emperor Varys, do not trust in their words. They will lead you to your doom. My father thought to use them, but in the end he succumbed to their temptations. He embraced summoning like so many other pawns before him. Do not tell us you mean to do the same.
To be a pawn, free from the burden of choice, would be a blessing. But I forswore that privilege the day I learned that the Garlean Empire was built by the hand of an Ascian.
What?
Yes. My grandsire, the former Emperor, is of their number.
And who better to build an empire capable of bringing about the calamitous change we desire? Would you condemn me for this alliance? For bowing to the will of these shadowy masters when the prize is true and lasting peace?
Ooh, how do I want to do this? Your prize is a lie, your master's demons.
I come not to conquer, but to liberate. To free man from the prison of divergence.
Sure you do.
Imagine a world united. One perfect race beneath a single standard.
Yeah, okay, didn't the Allegans try that and then collapsed?
An army before whose might these servants of darkness and light would fly as leaves in a storm, never again to meddle in man's affairs. We would be the masters of our own fate. I bid you join me, not as subjects of Garlemald, but of a new nation. And together we shall win freedom for ourselves and generations yet unborn.
You want to trigger another half-dozen calamities? You can't be serious!
Have you forgotten how many died? There will be no one left!
Do you truly imagine we would aid you in your bloodletting?
It is unthinkable! Unconscionable!
And what is the alternative? To be as cattle waiting for slaughter? I would have us work together that we might take fate into our own hands.
Crazy man with crazy plans.
Into your hands, perhaps. But what of the other worlds, your radiance? With every calamity, you obliterate a star and every soul that dwells on it.
To the Ascians, we are all but tiny, momentary specks within an indifferent universe. We cannot hope to oppose them until we have been made whole once more.
There's already been... We've killed like 3 Ascians already, dude.
Are these truly the words of Garlemald's ruler? The flaws and foibles which you so abhor are what make us who we are. Every nation, even yours, Emperor Varys, is made whole through the combination of these imperfections, the strengths of one compensating for the weaknesses of another. While it is true that man succumbs all too often to anger and avarice, he may yet overcome his baser instincts through the forming of bonds with others, fostering community and cooperation.
My tail's clipping through the chair.
That the protector of an empire should not only reject these fundamental truths, but seek to change them at so dear a cost to life is indefensible. Such a man is not fit to govern.
You tell him, Nanamo.
And you, warrior of light, would you refuse me as well?
I cannot condone such a loss of life.
It would seem the Alliance is of one mind on this matter.
Get out.
You Eorzeans never cease to disappoint me. Though I suppose I have only myself to blame for expecting more from savages.
Really? Really, dude?
This discussion is at an end. I bid you make ready for our next meeting. It will not be at the negotiating table.
Yeah, you get out of here. You leave. You and your crazy plans can just go to hell, thank you. I came back to find Doma's advance party ready and waiting for battle. So, as worrying as our little chat with the Emperor was, it did buy enough time for at least some of our allies to arrive. I'll take that, thank you.
Just made up now. Just got you off my lap. Shoo. Come on. Shoo shoo.
I'm not sure what I was expecting from our meeting with the Emperor, but it wasn't that. Still, at least we know now what he's really after.
Indeed.
Aye, a future built on a mountain of bodies. I too want the Ascians dead, but not at any cost.
The last of the reinforcements from Doma arrived not long ago. I pray it will be enough. Given the Emperor's stated goal, this is a battle we can ill afford to lose.
Indeed.
If the Gallians come in force, we may not have much say in the matter, even with our combined strength.
We knew from the first that the odds would be against us. But if there is even the slightest chance of victory, we must do everything in our power to seize it.
Yes, yes, we must.
We must seize it, full stop.
Here!
The two of you are to join an irregular unit and support the main host. I won't bother asking if you're minded to fight.
Oh, you know we are.
After coming this far, how could I not? And for once, there's no one around to countermand me. Not that they would. Not even my brother. But we all know who really make the difference. Ready to frighten some Garleans?
Oh, heck yes.
I wouldn't want to be on their side.
Might I ask you to accompany the Dorman contingent? They are strangers here, and your presence would do much to raise their spirits.
You can do that.
We would be honored.
When our people stride out with you in their midst, I dare say the Eorzeans will feel an ilm taller themselves. High spirits have a way of spreading.
What I wouldn't give to join you. But my duties as field commander will not allow it. I'll leave the front lines in your capable hands.
You can count on us, Rabon.
Comrades, ready your arms. The hour of battle has come. May the crystal guide us to victory!
Since the others couldn't be here, we'll have to fight twice as hard. If Alphinaud wakes to find the Imperials have won, I shall never hear the end of it. It's strange. I thought I would be terrified when the fighting started. I should be terrified. But with you at our side, I can't help feeling everything is going to be all right. So please, don't you dare leave me alone.
Oh, Alize.
No matter what happens, we have to survive together.
Alize. Gimlet Dark. Gimlet Dark. And this is the last dungeon before Shadowbringers. Where is it? There it is. Sit. Yes. And while we wait for the queue to pop, I'm just going to quickly take my plate through to the kitchen so it's not just sitting on my desk. I will be back. Don't run under my face. That's just my headphones. Okay. Your time isn't actually that bad this time around. Usually it's like more than 8 minutes, but knowing how often it likes to lie, it might end up being more than 8 minutes, you know? That's just how it do. That's just how it do. I still hate that we can't climb ladders. I don't know why, but I always get very annoyed in games if I cannot climb up a ladder. I have no idea why. Really? Really? Okay. Be like that, I guess. Now we just wait for the queue to pop. Come on. Really? This is literally cloth and you that this cloth game, I should be able to just jump through that. It should not be a wall that I hit. I'm stuck on nothing right now, look at this. I'm stuck on nothing right now. Ah, wonky hitboxes. Wonky hitboxes. Can I climb this? Oh, I can't climb that. Okay. I can't do anything. Ooh, I can climb this, kind of. Oh, not really. That's about as far as I can go. Okay. I never really explored this little area proper before. More boxes, sacks. Okay, midnight. No, I'm going to have to need both my hands. Go sit on my bed. I'm going to need both my hands when you're in the dungeon midnight. You can stay on the bed. It won't kill you to curl up on the bed. You do it all the time. Okay, this is the infirmary, obviously. I can't see. More logs, more crates. Oh, I can climb these crates. Okay. I don't know why I can climb these crates and I'm floating. I love the hitboxes in this game. They're so wonky. Okay. Yep, I'm floating again. Oh, the hitboxes in this game are so wonky. I can't climb cannons. Oh, this is a neat little area. There's another meeting table. Oh, yep, that's for planning how to divide the forces. I can see that. Is this the Gimlet Dark here? Or at least whatever part of Eorzea the Gimlet Dark is on. We don't actually get to see like where on the map it is proper. Also, props to the NPCs who are just standing around like holding these boxes. Like that's just their job all day every day. They just do that. How do they not get tired? I have no idea. Meeting table. Map of Eorzea. What? I don't know what this is. Is that supposed to be another map of Eorzea? It's a really shit map if so. Yeah, I think that's supposed to be another map of Eorzea. That's a really shitty map. You should be ashamed of yourself. Wait. Okay. Cannonballs. I pray this will be enough. Yep. More wonky hitbox physics. Oh, that dude's just coming in and out to report from the looks of it. Yeah, we got the adders, we got the flames, the Alamigan resistance. Oh, here's the maelstrom. And of course, over there we have the Holy See. Where are the Domans? Because they should be around as well. Or are they all out on the field? They may just all be out on the field. Yeah, I think they're all out on the field because I don't see any Domans. Hello, resistance person. Yeah, the Domans supposed to be all out on the field unless you're technically supposed to. No, I don't think you should be a Doman. I don't know. It has been 8 minutes. My queue has still not popped. Stop lying to me, game. Stop lying to me, Duty Finder. Let me into the Gimlet Dark. I have to go to war. Let me in Gimlet. I must go to war. Against Garlemald. For like the millionth time already. Oh, I can walk on these. Neat. Aw. Okay, I was able to jump over the first one, but it's like, nope. Not allowed to do it on the second one. I see how it is. I see how it is, game. I see how it is. Okay, it's been 9 minutes. You're still telling me 8. Come on, get your shit together, game. Get your shit together and let me into the Gimlet Dark. I need to go to war, thank you. I need to go to war with the Garleans. Again. For the billionth time. One day it'll just let me in. One day. I'm just gonna make everyone else's life here hell until it lets me into the Gimlet Dark. You're still telling me 8 minutes. It has been 10. Let me in, game. Let me in. Why is the game like this? Why does it do this to me? Like, every time. Every time I want to queue for something as a DPS, I get this bullshit. Let me in, game. Let me in! We just need a healer and a DPS. Let me in. Yay! Come on, wake up, DPS. Wake up. Nice.
Forward! Forward!
Oh, I should, sure. Ah! Oh, thank God for the head. Of course they are, why wouldn't they be? On it, Ian. Whoops. Are you going right ahead? Again? Why is that? I don't know. It wasn't then. Yep, thanks on the head. As per usual. Oh, I should not be there. Oh, That was a bad place to stand. Bad place to stand. Bad place to stand. Yeah. First boss, let's go. Both stances. Go. Oh god. Away to the party, please. Well, go here. Oh god. Aha! Ah! Oh, you need a friend, you need a friend. Friends! Come on, you're at 10%, go down. Go down, come on. I need friends. Friends! Ow. It's good, but ow. Tank? Tank? Tank, come on. Supposed to be like an overflow of blue, but that is really pretty. Look at that overflow. Look at that. It's really pretty. And we can walk in it. It's really pretty. You cannot convince me otherwise. Ooh, a lot of things falling. Excuse you. I'm back here. I need to beat you up. Oh, I'll take that. Take it to the Golem Enclave. Because I've already done the Golem Enclave. So, I can't give it anything else until it resets. Come on, go down. my good boy. Oh, and those. Hi, Lisa. How you doing? Oh, tank, help. I accidentally made a friend. I don't want it. Help. Help. I do not want friend. Yep. I don't want this. Why did you bring them up here? What are you doing, Tank? I have questions. I have a confused. I think the tank got lost. Or something. I don't know what that was all about. Alright. Good job, everybody. We dodged it. Okay, let's do standard step. Oh god. How dare you? So rude. Ow. Rude. Okay, we should be rolling back in. Yep, here we go. Okay, where are you? Oh lord, oh lord, oh lord. Oh goodness. Okay, let's do a standard step. Take that full stop. Oh, I'm already on the correct side. Yay! Where's the chest? Oh! What does this look like? Okay, that looks really dumb, but I'm gonna need that anyway, so I can hand it over to Dylan Enclave at release it. Emmerich! Emmerich incoming!
You underestimate me!
Emmerich! If only Briar was watching this, she would appreciate Emmerich being here. Oh well. seeing America. Oh, I made a friend by mistake! Tank, take this friend away from me, please! I did not mean to make a friend! Whoops!
Out of my way!
Oh, there's he and Yugiri again. This. 3. Why not? You. Hello. How you doing? Tank, where's... Tank? Tank! This is chaos! This is chaos! Chaos! Oh my god! What the hell happened?
As one!
My good boy! Pepe! Oh dear. Kane, you weren't supposed to stand in that. Kane. You missed. Go, Yugiri, go. Go, Yugiri, go. Let it break, Yugiri, let it break.
This day you die!
Going on, doing this. Thank you. Goodbye. I agree. Oh, wait, never mind. These savages bested our vanguard. Impressive. But in the end, they are only that. Savages. Now, let us be brief. His radiance awaits. Really? You couldn't wait for me to get out of the cutscene? Really? You couldn't wait for me to get out of the cutscene? Are you serious? I wasn't gonna skip the cutscene just because of your assholes are impatient. should be okay right now. Yep. I am perfectly safe. Get your butt away from me. Oh, I found the sweet spot there. Eat crossbows! We have served our purpose. Come, we shall withdraw for now. Ta-da! Since you're the only ones left. Yeah. There you go. Away! Aw, I got a calm.
There you are! And none the worse for wear.
Obviously.
Indeed. I had hoped we might do more to help, but there seems to be no one left to fight.
Yep. Yeah, it's okay, I got it.
A tactical withdrawal, perhaps?
We should give chase. Finish them off while we have the chance. Imagine the other surprise when they wake to find the war already won.
Never mind. Ow. Every time. Every time.
Will expunge all life. Only you can forestall the calamity. Throw wide the gates.
No! 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 Not like...
Oh, Alisaie down. Alisaie down!
Oh no. Don't tell me. Are you all right?
I'm fine, but Alisaie down!
Quickly! We must get her back to the encampment.
Alisaie down! No! She was the only one we had left! Ugh. So the Guardians have been routed, have they? Well done. This exchange was no more than a test of our strength, like as not. They won't be taking any chances now that the Emperor has joined the fray. They'll want to take the time, whittle down our defenses. Still, with their help, that and that of our eastern allies, we passed the first test. Our line is unbroken. As for Alize, well, she's in good hands over at the infirmary. My lord, the chirurgeons have completed their examination of Mistress Alize, and it is as we feared. She's locked in a slumber without any outward cause. She was the only one we had left. Just like the others. Damn it all. Aye, the Garleans picked a fine time to come knocking. 5 scions incapacitated, and with the enemy on our doorstep, I cannot spare the men to assist in the search for a cure. The best I can do is see to it that Alize is escorted safely back to the Rising Stones. Yugiri and I will return to our encampment. The main contingent of our forces from the Far East is under sail, and we must be made ready for their arrival. I'll not keep you then. Judging by the Garleans' recent movements, or lack thereof, they won't be launching another offensive in the immediate future. You should return to the Rising Stones. Given the plight of your fellow scions, I can understand if you feel on edge, but you'll be no good to anyone without rest. Alright, back to Mordona. Alize was the only one we had left, and she's down. Oh, pretty bird. Before we go into the Rising Stones proper, I would like to repair my gear. Hello. Thank you. Goodbye. What? Oh, you have a quest for me. I'll get to that later. Ah, Kaharu, welcome home. Word has it you and Mistress Alize gave the Garleans quite a thrashing. Speaking of whom, where is Mistress Alize? I was certain she would have returned by now. By the 12, not her too. Ocher and I will ready the infirmary for her arrival. We will also need to send a message to Jataru post-haste. Word that I had something other than grim tidings to share with her. And with you too, for that matter. It grieves me to report that the Archon's condition remains unchanged. As we speak, Colonel Kryl and Master Matoya continue to explore every possible avenue. Alas, their efforts have yet to bear fruit. But not all is lost. You're still hale and whole after all. Though I suspect you must be tired from your journey. You should rest, my friend. Leave the worrying for us for the time being, at least. Meanwhile, at the border of Alamigo. Hello. And that was 4.5. We're the only ones left. Oh my goodness. But as I said, I'll be doing 4.5 and 4.56, so let's get into 4.56. Ah, Karu, yours is a welcome face indeed in these troubled times. Though, if you come to inquire about our stricken brothers and sisters, I am afraid I have naught to report. Continent and the others continue their tireless search for answers, and I too have done all in my power to assist them. Alas. My apologies for the intrusion. I was told Master Alphino had been brought here and wished to see if his condition had improved. Maxima! Maxima! Mistress Karu, I have heard about the part you played in driving back the Empire's forces. Thank you. That you were able to stop them, if only for a short while, gives me hope. I realize how strange such words must sound coming from a Garlean's lips, but I speak them out of the love I bear for my homeland, because I wish to see an end to the bloodshed. That is why I chose to share all that I know with the Alliance. Though I will surely be branded as a traitor, I am content to bear that ignominy. 'Twill seem a small price to pay if it helps to prevent this conflict from escalating any further. But enough of my prattling. The war is not what brought me all this way. I came to see Master Alphino. An acquaintance of Kaharu and Alphino, are you? Well, far be it from me to turn away good company, if you will follow me, sir. When word reached me that Alphino had returned, it seemed only right that I visit him. Poor lad. It pains me to see him thus, but I take solace in the knowledge that he is safe and well cared for. He fought valiantly at the burn. The Populares could not have wished for a more committed ally. I know not how he came to be so afflicted, but I pray a cure will be found soon. On an unrelated note, you may be interested to know that I traveled here in the company of another acquaintance of yours. He awaits my return at North Silvertier, and I am certain he would be glad to see you. Assuming you can spare the time, that is. Alright. Maxima! Yay! Good Garlean boy. Good Garlean boy. Oh god, oh god. Ah! Alright, where is he? Where's my other good Garlean boy? Because I'm pretty sure that's who it is. Here's my other good Garlean boy! Ah, there you are. I was beginning to think you would not come. Sid! It sounds like you've been through the mill. You should have called me. Though I must confess, tracking down missing souls isn't exactly within my field of expertise. As you may have surmised, I heard much of Master Garland growing up in Garlemald. Indeed, he has long been a source of inspiration for me. Most Garleans would say he is a traitor, and that he turned his back on his country. We of the Populares, however, consider him a revolutionary, a man willing to defy the Empire's dreams of subjugation, that his inventions might bring about a better future for all mankind. Please, revolutionary is a term best reserved for my work. I am but an Imperial defector who thought to aid another Imperial defector. Aww, they're friends. Whatever Master Garland says, I am humbled to find myself in such distinguished company. Speaking of distinguished company, we heard from Raubon that you ran into an old friend in the burn. Is it true? Gaius still lives. Yes, indeed. Like most in the army, I never had the privilege of seeing the legatus without his mask. To think I walked halfway across the burn in the presence of the Black Wolf. And he claimed to have severed ties with the Empire to hunt Ascians, did he? After his humbling of the Praetorium, one would think he'd have a good sense to stay dead. Should we meet again, I shall be sure to tell him so. Commander Alden also spoke of the Alliance's meeting with the Emperor, though I still labor to believe what he told us. Did his Radiance really claim that Garlemald was founded by the Ascians? Yep, yes he did. But that is madness. The very notion is absurd. Every fiber of my being rails against it. And yet I see there's no escaping the truth. From the very founding of my homeland, my brothers and sisters have laid down their lives in service to a lie. The Ascians must be stopped, to save my people, to save all peoples. For the Empire's many crimes, even I did not suspect. Had I known, I would have left a lot sooner. But that is in the past. Here in the present, we must apply ourselves to the problem of how the Empire's ambitions may be thwarted, not only in Eorzea, but in the Far East as well. The Ironworks will spare no effort to achieve that end. Sayrio's Wall was a good start, but we can do more, and we will. We'll show them what it means to achieve freedom through technology. Begging your pardons, I bear a message for the Warrior of Light. Oh, you need me? What is it? Commander Alden requests your presence at the Alliance headquarters in Alamigo. He will discuss a matter of strategy at your earliest convenience. Ah, yes, the inevitable messenger. I knew it wouldn't be long before duty called you away. Time no doubt being of the essence, could I tempt your ride aboard the Excelsior? There's a faster way to Rabon's side. If there's a faster way to Rabon's side, I will personally apologize to the commander for keeping him waiting. Alright, Sid, let's go. Why not? Let's go. I swear, every time you board my airship, you seem to be barreling headlong to danger. And every time you somehow contrive to emerge victorious, which of course is an admirable skill. But no one is invincible, Kaharu, not even you, so please, take care of yourself out there. I pray you remain safe on the front lines. Though ill-equipped to join the fray, I shall do all I can to assist from headquarters. My colleagues and I have been tasked with evacuating casualties by air. See that you aren't amongst them, eh? I will try, Sid. I will try. Commander Alden is waiting, my lady. It would be best if we proceeded to Alliance headquarters at once. Let us go to the Alliance headquarters. Rabon! You're here. Good. I summoned you to discuss strategy, but first I would apprise you of the Garlean's movements. Yep, okay. Let's go. Let's go!
There have been several skirmishes along the border, but as yet neither side has delivered a decisive blow. We had long assumed that the Garleans would overwhelm us in a straight fight, but we seem to be gaining ground, albeit slowly. As to why that might be, the most likely explanation is that they have yet to commit all their forces. Still, we're winning, and our latest intelligence suggests the Emperor has retreated back to Garlemald. In light of this, we're considering launching an offensive with the aim of pushing the front line forward and giving ourselves some room to breathe.
Commander! The Imperials! They've broken through our defenses to the east!
Oh, joy.
What?
Our scouts say their forces are being led by Lord Xenos.
Of course they are.
Lord Hien and Commander Hext have taken their troops to provide support, but we don't know how long they can hold out.
So, they've been biding their time, waiting for his arrival, have they? Very well. Send word to our allies, requesting reinforcements for the front line. Should the worst come to the worst, I may need to enter the fray myself. But what of you? Do you still have the strength to fight?
You need only say the word.
Much obliged. Given the choice, I'd take you over 100 soldiers.
Ah! Oh god!
Why won't they open? Please, I bid you open.
That was terrible timing. Oh god.
What's wrong? Is it the voice again?
Yep.
Are you sure you're in a fit state to do this?
I gotta go help Ralbon. I'll be okay. I'll be okay.
May Ralga grant us strength. Give him hell, lass. I, for my part, will defend this place to my dying breath.
Meanwhile, at the border of Alamigo, and this time I get to play as Heon. Let's go.
Ready? This one's for you, Ida.
Thank you, Lee. Okay, Zeke. Oh lord. Here it comes! Nice!
The weave of a shinobi's power.
Go, Yugiri!
The art of my forebears.
Go, Yugiri! This. Come on. Fire's light instead of 200 miles away. I'm almost there, guys. I'm almost there. I'm almost there. Scene. Come on, Hien.
Oh, fiend! Ah!
You get it!
Damn you!
Oof. Oh, goodness. Up there I am, there I am. Ooh. Oh, that does not look good.
Magic. With a Garlean body. That's hardly fair. Still, he must be stopped, no matter the cost.
Oh, Hien, honey, stay down, stay down. I got this. I got this.
Ah, bringer of light. It has been too long. No words to mark our reunion? So be it. Equilibrium must be restored, and only your death will redress the balance.
Come at me, bro. Come at me. That's up. Oh, I'll be sorry to interfere for as long as I want, dude. Technical stat. Beautiful. This. Come on. I don't think there's vulnerability to get out of that. I didn't do shit, bro. Try stepping up your game. try, dude. Try harder. Alright. You. Whoops. Come on. Storm goes down. Amino Harakiri. Come on. Woo! I am Heideland's chosen champion. I will not be fouled so easily. Oh, okay. Okay. I remember this from the after. Okay, I see how it is. Run around in a circle. Don't touch the balls. Balls are bad. Okay, out. Oh, goodness gracious. Technical stat. And then let's do... No, stats. Let's do a technical stat as well. Get that added boost. Come at me! Come on. Come at me. That did nothing. Try again. Come on. Come on. There we go.
I see.
Got you. Got you. Oh. Okay, that's just cheating, bro. That's just cheating.
Your mother chose her champion well. Yet, for all your strength, you will still fail.
Okay, ow. I'm still up, bitch. Oh.
Please.
Okay.
I beseech you.
Ah, someone calls to you. Too late, alas.
Hello? Hello? Where am I? What is this?
At last, I found you.
Hello, good sir.
Please, there's no cause for alarm. Though, I confess, this is not where I had intended to meet. But the place of our meeting is of no consequence, like the war you wage. Win or lose, the path you walk leads only to oblivion. The better path leads you here, to me. I have need of your strength.
Who are you?
I'm afraid such questions will have to wait. We have precious little time, and your work is not yet done. Go to the Crystal Tower. I have left something for you near its base.
Okay.
It will serve as a beacon of sorts. One which I pray will help you on your journey. All you need do is find it. I will take care of the rest. Soon, we will throw wide the gates. And the path to the first will be yours to walk at last.
Wait, no, come back! Come back! This is Ishgardian decor. Emmerich!
You're awake. Thank heavens.
Where is Xenos?
I see you recall that much, at least.
Where is Xenos, Emmerich?
In the midst of your duel, it is said you faltered, and that the Crown Prince seized the opportunity to deliver a mortal blow. Yet before his blade could find its mark, he was distracted by the arrival of a second adversary who bore you away from the battlefield and into the hands of our chirurgeons. Lest you wonder, he left before you awoke. As is his wont. Estinian never was one for emotional farewells.
No, he wasn't.
Though Xenos bested all before him, the battle clearly took its toll, for he retreated shortly after your rescue. Seeing this, the remaining Imperial forces decided discretion was the better part of valor and pulled back, allowing us to re-establish our position.
That's good.
We have since received word of renewed unrest in the provinces, doubtless inspired by the efforts of the Eorzean Alliance and our Far Eastern allies.
Hey.
Nor does the good news end there. We have also come into possession of intelligence suggesting unrest within the Imperial Court.
Oh, interesting.
This would certainly explain why both the Emperor and Lord Xenos appear to have abandoned the fight.
Nice.
A long-awaited ray of hope in these dark times.
Indeed. Very much so. And what of the Scions?
Yet to awake, I'm afraid. But please, concentrate on your own recovery for now. You have carried the hopes of some half-dozen nations, and we are all eternally grateful for your efforts. But no one is without their limits, not even you. Leave this fight to us, my friend. You have earned your rest. But before I forget, I was asked to deliver a message as soon as you awoke. A reminder that you are not alone, though many of your allies have fallen.
Oh.
When you are well and rested, you are to return home, where friends will be waiting for you. Now, if you will excuse me, I must return to the front. May we meet again soon, under happier circumstances.
Oh. Well, this is a most unexpected surprise. I thought you were confined to a bed. I thought you confined to bed. Edmond! Edmond! When I heard that you had collapsed on the field of battle, I confess I feared the worst. But with you standing here before me, I see now that the reports of your defeat were greatly exaggerated. Thank the Fury. As long as we have you, Mistress Oral, history suggests we have a fighting chance. Speaking of fighting, you may be surprised to hear that the war's efforts can already be felt even here in Ishgard. In anticipation of a need for reinforcements, Artois will soon be departing for the front lines with a contingent of our finest knights. I would advise you to stay until your strength had returned, but I know it would be an exercise in futility. Indeed, I suspect you have already decided on your next destination. Dark days lie ahead, but of that I have no doubt. But the light of hope shall ever guide our steps so long as we have the will to press onward. And press onward we must. Farewell, my friend. I pray our next meeting will be under happier circumstances. No, I must hug him before I go. He is best dad. He is best dad. You know that you will ever be welcome at house for Tom. Now away with you. I dare not keep you any longer. No. I had to hug Edmond. Edmond is best dad. He is best dad. And you cannot. And that man has adopted the Warrior of Light, and you cannot convince me otherwise. You cannot convince me otherwise. Hi guys! Hi! It's me! I'm back!
By the 12! I don't believe it!
Hi! Oh, Tatara, don't cry! You're gonna make me cry.
I rushed back as soon as I could. I swear, my heart nearly stopped when I heard you'd collapse like the others. What in heaven's name is going on? Win or lose, the path you walk leads only to oblivion. Oh, well, that's helpful.
Yeah, isn't it? So helpful.
And what else did he say? The better path leads to him? If his is the voice you've all been hearing, perhaps the others are with him. Sir Emmerich said the fighting had reached a stalemate, didn't he? But if that monster masquerading as Xenos comes back... Thancred, Y'shtola, Urianger, Alphino, Alize. You're going to need all of them on your side to defeat him. And I forbid you from going to face him on your own, do you hear me?
Tataru.
So if you must leave, go and find the others. Bring them home.
Tataru.
As for where to start, you said the stranger had left a beacon for you at the Crystal Tower, right?
Correct.
But how are you to find it, now that the tower has been sealed shut?
That is a good question.
There has to be a way. If anyone would know, it's Sid, and the researchers of St. Coinac's find. Don't you worry, we'll find that beacon for you.
Meanwhile, in the Imperial Palace...
I pray you have good reason for abandoning the front.
How could I remain there while the rumor that my son is possessed by a demon spreads like a sickness here at home?
Oh dear.
I will not be made to fight for the throne a second time. But what of you? Did you not tell me you would destroy Eorzea's champion with the ease that one might swat a fly?
Yeah, he did.
A minor setback. She will not escape me again. Where is your grandsire? I would have words with him.
How should I know? Do you hide from each other's sight as well? I imagine he's doing what all Ascians do.
He must have found a way to take advantage of this turmoil.
Men are not pawns to be played with, Ascian. You underestimate us at your peril. This war will not be decided by you and yours. Man must choose his own fate, and I, for my part, will do all within my power to see Garlemald emerge victorious.
Pray forgive the intrusion, Your Radiance, but the requested preparations are now complete. We stand ready to begin production of Black Rose upon your order.
Oh dear. Oh dear. That's not creepy at all. Credits? Yep, okay. Skip this. I knew you'd be alright, and to celebrate your return, I made you this. A brand new traveling outfit. Oh, I do hope it fits. But now is not the time to fuss over your measurements. I must go and speak with the researchers of St. Coinac's find. You go and rest while we track down that beacon. Yay! Beep, beep, dee, dee, dee.
My enemy. My friend. Had I been but a step faster.
Bloody savages!
You down.
A pity your hunt leads you elsewhere. Not that I am surprised. May you find joy in it. Grow stronger, more savage, and savor every triumph. In the meantime, I will reclaim that which is rightfully mine.
I think we all know who this is up by this point. There's the Crystal Tower. In the midst of a requiem for heroes, a voice rings out across time and space. In the field of tranquil light, you sow seeds of darkness. Hold on, give me a moment. Ugh. This actually doesn't look bad on here. I still hate the helmet though. I still absolutely hate the helmet. But there we go. We are now officially in Shadowbringers. Finally! That took way too long to get here. So tomorrow we will be going through the first little bit of Shadowbringers. Finally getting to the first and everything that's going on there. So thank you for everyone who swung by to watch. Thank you for everyone who was chatting with me today. Thank you for everyone who watches the video afterward. And I will see you all later in the next stream. Bye!